get into the thick and hairy stuff. We've got Burton, Adam Doueihi. I've got a question here from Jay Smith. Hopefully that is the great Jason Smith, one of the greats of all time on and off the field. Yeah. Is Burton the best choice at 6 to start? I think there's a fair argument that he is, but, mate, listening to the Spy talk last night on Supercoach Playbook on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing if you haven't already.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks. That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. I got you. A little 5'8" over there. Make sure you are subscribed, though. Supercoach Playbook on YouTube.
Yeah, Burton and Flanagan. I'll bet you 5'8", but I'm Burton.
That hurts. Heaps. He did bring up some good points, the Spy, with Adam Doueihi. I'm still leaning towards Matt Burton. I just think adding Kickow on that edge, he's coming back from a World Cup. I think he'll come back very, very confident. Canterbury should improve in general. They should have a coach that picks the team. I just think there's a lot of positives. He's a goal kicker as well. He's $30K cheaper than Adam Doueihi. Not that that's a big push, but he is cheaper. I prefer Burton, but Adam Doueihi, you have got some pretty good numbers on him.
We've got some good numbers on both of them, and this is the one that's
everyone's wrestling with this.
Yeah. Up until round 1, it's going to kill me, this decision. And I haven't ruled out other 5'8", but it looks like it'll be Doueihi or Burto. So when we did initial team reveals last week, I had Doueihi, and I finished the podcast, and we had spoke about your team. You gave me a few points around Burto, and I got a little bit keen on Burto. I was thinking of flipping. Went on the podcast last night. The Spy had some good points around Doueihi. I keep chopping and changing. So my against for Burto, and I'll start by saying the Tigers and the Doggies are in a very similar boat in that they've both recruited really well and look like big improvers this year. Burto, last 4 games last season were all under 50 points. 3 of the 4 games were under 32 points. Last season, he had 10 scores under 40 points. Pretty damning stats. Now, to average, 59 or whatever it was he did, or 57, it's like, there's obviously some big scores in there too, so we know what he can do. The kick-out factor excites me. We touched on that last week, and it's just, I think defences are going to overcompensate on him so much that it's just, you can see it all year. The Burto, show and go, just diving over untouched. I like that. I think they're both stars. Burto's got a slight edge in class to me. I think he's just, in your words, could be anything. So I don't mind Burto. Doueihi, going back through his stats, felt like when I brought him in last year after his 141, my memory was that he didn't go real well. Then you go back and look at the stats. From round 18 onwards last season, so the first 3 games he had back for the season were slow. He was coming back from a long-term injury, no surprise. From round 18 onwards, he averaged 72 points per game, which is really, really good numbers. He now gets behind what should be a vastly improved Tigers outfit. In 2021, he had 14 games at 5'8", averaged 82 points. In that, he had a 20, a 25, and a 34. I know 2021 was that anomaly year with the big scoring, so I get that, and that needs to be taken into consideration, but there's just points in him.
There is.
He's got a better pedigree than Burto.
Yeah, I think there is so much upside in Burton. And it's more of a gut feel, to be fair. I just feel like Burton's in for a big one, and Doueihi, whenever everything looks good at the Tigers and it's really simple and this should happen, fucking this happens and this happens and this happens. That's my worry.
Even if they win their 2 trials 50-0, you'll be like, this means nothing.
Yeah.
Like, other teams you do, like, all right, promising signs, that's good. Tigers, you'd be like, I want to see them do it in the NRL.
I love the Hello Sport boys always joke that a couple of years ago at one of the Tigers trials, when they went off at halftime, the crowd at Leichhardt Oval gave them a standing ovation in a trial, and that just doomed their entire fucking season. The standing O at halftime in a trial, which I fucking love. I think I'm really, really leaning towards Burton just because I do not trust this Tigers system. I want to see what they look like first. But, yeah, mate, anyone that does go Doueihi with those sort of numbers, I get it. I understand it.
And the Tigers have a bit of a better draw to start the season as well. I might just spare myself the troubles and put Schuster at second row and play them both.
He'll goal kick too, Doueihi, won't he? Now that Jacko's gone, there's no,
Yeah. And then Jacko Gawn.
Surely he kicks over Luke
Jacko
Brooks.
Gawn, like when Jacko's at lock, he's going to take a lot of ball off Doueihi. Doueihi's going to get so much ball.
Yeah, but geez, Jacko was putting him in some good spots too, though. At the same time.
Yeah, fair. Good cert. Yeah, I'll pay that.
That's, I think it'll be really crucial to the Tigers who plays 13. If it's Bateman, it's great for Bateman.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good it is for everyone else. And that's going to be a little bit of a worry. And I would imagine as a half, as good as Bateman is, it would be frustrating trying to get your sets ready and organise where you're going.
You can see them being so clunky, can't you?
Yes, because he's just going to be a pinball machine, which is what you want him to do, but you want him to do it on an edge when you turn him under, not when you're trying to get your set to the spot where you want to be.
Like, if you don't want a ball playing lock, you're better off going for a Joe who's just going to go up, knock a few down, get a quick play of the ball, and then have everyone set. Bateman, as you said, you used the correct term was pinball.
Yeah.
He's all over the shop. Trying to play off the back of that, impossible.
But then, do they have the halves to play without a ball playing 13? That's the worry for me. Like there's just a lot of question marks around the Tigers. Mate, if history repeats...
To be fair, Doueihi and Wakeham would be good together, mate.
To their credit, if history repeats itself here, Tim Sheens has an incredible record of getting the absolute best, especially on the attacking side of the front, out of those players. So,
yeah. I was about 4 when he was doing that, Tim Sheens.
Yeah, but but he's done it over a number of years in very different brands of rugby league as well. I know it's a long time ago, I get that, but like you go back to 05 when he did it, you look at 04, like it was a completely different brand of footy where it was just about these big mobile forward packs. I don't know if I'm not convinced it's going to happen, but I can understand that as an argument as well.
My heart says Birdo, my head says Doueihi.